And so the national championship game between Georgia and TCU, break it down for me before I let you go. What do you got for me?
I think it comes down to if TCU can run the ball as close to as well as they did the other night, they have a chance. Now, they're going to need help. I don't know if they're going to need 2 pick sixes from Stetson Bennett, but they're going to need help. I mean, Georgia is I hate to say the term, like they are like a supersized version of Michigan, right? They're super physical. They have a lot of guys on defense. They have more NFL top-level talent on defense than certainly I think Michigan does. But they have. It's interesting because like both teams excel using the tight end. They do it differently, but especially Brock Bowers, he is a big weapon. Georgia's tight end, much different than how Michigan uses their guys, but I think that's the challenge. But again, TCU was so loose in playing with the house's money. If there's a game at halftime, I'm not saying Georgia's going to get super tight, but like it's really hard to repeat. And they needed like a missed field goal, obviously, to get to this game. I think there is no aura of invincibility on this team. Like one of my friends had brought up, well, maybe this is kind of like the first Miami team coming out of nowhere to beat Nebraska. Because I remember like that Nebraska team, Turner Gill and Mike Rozier and Irvin Frye, that was like team of the ages that they were billing. I don't feel like this Georgia team is quite as stacked as the one we saw last year.
I would agree with you on that. I mean, there's so many guys playing on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays right now from that Georgia team in particular.
And this is a really resilient TCU team. Like if they give up a huge play, well, we just saw that. We just saw them give up a huge play right out of the gate. They didn't give up a touchdown. And I just think they're going to take a lot of punches on the chin. And if they lose, they lose. But they are a dangerous team because they have so much belief. Like I'm not surprised the spread is double digits. I think it probably should be.
You have an issue with that, right?
Yeah. Why TCU? We've seen them play 5, 6, 7 ranked teams this year, beat all of them, and they're 13-point dogs. Really, 13?
I think a lot of it has to do with just the recruiting rankings, and you just see so many 5-star guys on the field. Like Michigan it was like a little bit like Michigan to Ohio State. It was like this was flipped kind of thing, this game, where Michigan was the big underdog in that game and they played with the chip on their shoulder, and then TCU came in with the chip on their shoulder. I could easily talk myself into thinking TCU is going to pull the big upset.
I don't know, man. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, and that team is physical. Whatever Sonny Dykes is selling, they are bought and sold, man. Yeah. And they're tough. They are really tough and mentally tough. And on top of it too, that fan base is loud. That building was deafening, and they're going to show up in Los Angeles. Not that Georgia's not.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a ton of purple in that SoFi Stadium, which is one of the loudest buildings I've ever been in anywhere.
And they are
I would be.
Which this one thing hasn't happened in a long time where, when it's Ohio State versus, Alabama, with the exception of LSU that year, It's been a long time since somebody else was kind of a darling of college football playing in that game. It was always like when Clemson first got there, but after a while, people got really sick of Dabo in a hurry, and it was in Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. Those programs are hard for everybody else to root for. I mean, I don't know if this doesn't really matter much either, but the idea that like there's going to be so many people pulling for TCU, I don't know if it's in the building how much that'll matter.
There's going to be that place was half purple in Arizona,
and then
if not
some,
more.
right? Yeah.
If not more, I was surprised at how much purple there was.
Well, we know there's going to be a lot of people from Michigan with tickets from that game probably dumping them. So,
well, I'm one of them. I'm going. I mean, I'm still taking my son. We're
prices
going.
have been dropping all week because it seems like the Michigan people are unloading.
Yeah. I'm sure they are.
I don't know. You got me on that one. All I'm saying is that I saw that TCU team, and I watched the game when I got home, at least the third and fourth quarter, except for the last kick, because we were watching the ball drop, by the way, and so that was that TCU can win this game. I'm surprised. 13 points, really?
I also think, Bruce, interesting about this game is the quarterbacks. This isn't Jameis Winston versus Marcus Mariota. This isn't 2 Heisman Trophy winners. It's two guys whose stories we know. Like Max Duggan was a backup before the season started, and Stetson Bennett was a walk-on.
Yeah, he's going to be in charge of your 401k in like 2 years,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, with Max Duggan, there were coaches who faced him this year in the Big 12 who were actually like, we want him to not get knocked out of the game because they thought Chandler Morris, the backup, gave them more problems. Now, those teams lost to him, by the way. Ended up losing.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.